Good evening and welcome to HPU News. I'm Sydney Chevron.
And I'm Sydney Goldberg. Tonight, Apple in another privacy dispute with the FBI.
An undercover operation has some new findings about the efficiency of the TSA.
And Canadian radio is about to get a lot more colorful.
But first, it feels like fall weather has finally struck here in North Carolina. But will our temperatures come back before Thanksgiving? Our own Dave Wintrode is filling in for Kit Curtis this week in weather. Dave?
Hello, my name is David Wintrode. Thank you so much for those encouraging words, but you don't need me to tell you that it's been a little gloomy and dismal here around High Point these past few days, and that is, of course, this low pressure system that you see just moving out to sea now. It should be past us, and we should have a high pressure system moving its way on in. And as you see, also around the country, we have low pressure systems, coming in from the northwest, and that should be all of the winter weather, hopefully coming in to cool us down. And now we're going to move on to our national numbers. There it is. The winter, ladies and gentlemen, is going to come down and just cool us all away. And of course, other than Florida, that is Kit Curtis's country. She loves it. She thinks it's absolutely warm and fantastic. And now on to our 7-day forecast. As you can see here, it is going to be cool up until a little while, but then after about Sunday, the temperatures are going to rise back up again. We're going to get just a little bit of summer before we come back in for this colder weather. So thank you so much. Back to the studio, guys.
Thank you, Dave. We look forward to some much needed sunshine.
Tonight, tech giant Apple firing back at the FBI after the bureau stated they could not access Texas gunman Devin Kelly's iPhone. Without naming the company, the FBI cast blame onto Apple for not allowing enforcement immediate access to Kelly's phone. Apple fired back yesterday in a statement saying they had reached out to the FBI, and as the Washington Post reports, an FBI official acknowledged Apple's offer but claimed they did not need the tech giant's help.
But Apple not quite out of the hot water yet. Further digging into the Paradise Papers leaking revealed that Apple Inc. avoided paying taxes on $250 billion by using offshore accounts. Apple has reportedly been using a loophole in tax laws to send the revenues to the Channel Islands of Jersey and Ireland. By flexing the loophole, Apple steered clear of paying the United States 35% corporate tax and 12% Irish corporate tax. And a Nevada man arrested and charged after killing his son. Wendell Melton gunned down his 14-year-old son Giovanni Melton because he was gay and had a boyfriend. Wendell had previously pulled a gun on his son after catching him with his boyfriend. The boy's former foster mom said that Wendell would rather have a dead son than a gay son. He has been charged with open murder, child abuse, and being a prohibited person. A San Antonio area man has been accused of sexually assaulting at least 5 foster children. Miguel Brazilo was a licensed foster parent who took over 180 young girls over a 5-year period. A Medina County sheriff said it's not a question about whether there are more, it's just how many. The 50-year-old assailant is being held in a county jail on a $500,000 bond. And now, with only a month left in the fall semester here at High Point, I know it's hard to believe, but there's still so much left to do, and our very own Toby Allen is here to tell you all about what's going on campus in this week's Campus Update. Toby?
Hey guys, Toby here with your Campus Update. I hope everyone having a great National Service Week. Continuing with service this week, HPU Wishmakers is hosting a Lego donation drive for Make-A-Wish Foundation. They'll be collecting Legos from November 11th, 12 p.m. to November 14th, 1 p.m. There are also some great things going on this weekend. This Friday is Veterans Day. Let's make sure we support our veterans because they do so much for us. Come out and support Sigma 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 at High Point University for our 3rd annual Sigma in Color Fun Color Run. It will be this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's that time of year again. High Point University is putting on a musical. The musical Cabaret is going to be shown November 16th through the 19th at 7:30 p.m. and just a 2 p.m. showing that Sunday. That's all I have for you guys this week. We're less than a month away from finals, so enjoy as much as you can on campus before the cramming begins. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Toby. And Cabaret is the theater department's last production this semester, so don't forget to get your tickets online or at the box office. And I know I have mine for opening night. I'm so excited.
And now a new undercover operation tonight, alarming many as millions ready their flights for Thanksgiving. The operation showing that TSA officers failed to detect weapons or explosives nearly 80% of the time. According to a source within the Department of Homeland Security, Republican Mike Rogers spoke to the TSA Administrator David Pekoski, saying this agency that you run is broken badly and it needs your attention. While Democrats are lobbying for more money to be challenged into the TSA to afford high-tech scanners.
And more travel news across the pond as a travel alert is now in effect in Saudi Arabia after blame falling on Lebanon and Hezbollah for a missile launched over the weekend aimed at Saudi Arabia's capital. Reporters say the attempted attack on Iran was considered an act of war. Saudi Arabia and Lebanon are both dominant powers in the Middle East and have been experiencing a serious power struggle.
And down in the South, Florida State University banned Greek life after freshman pledged dying on campus. Police state that he was found unresponsive the morning after a house party, while there must have been alcohol involved. Another FSU fraternity member arrested for selling cocaine. These two incidents prompted the university to take away Greek life altogether on campus.
And now we turn to a prominent death in the baseball world. Pitching legend Roy Halladay dying this week in a plane crash. Joining us now is our own sports analyst, Kevin McMahon, with more on the subject. So Kevin, how has the sports world been impacted by this awful death?
Man. First of all, Roy Halladay, an unbelievable pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies and the Toronto Blue Jays. So yeah, it's really sad. He just got his plane license. He's retired. He's 40 years old. And just got his plane license, just got a new plane, and it was flying the plane and then crashed. He was found in a body of water, I think the Gulf of Mexico. And so real sad, definitely a Hall of Famer, Roy Halladay. Probably, I'm a Yankee fan, and so the Blue Jays and Yankees play a lot, the Phillies and the Yankees play a lot. But probably my favorite memory I'll remember of Roy Halladay was his perfect game in the regular season. In that same season, he threw a no-hitter in the NLDS in the playoffs. So, I mean, the guy was a stud. And so definitely going to be missed in baseball and a huge loss. So it's going to be a busy weekend for the Panthers. The High Point University volleyball team clinched the Big South regular season title last weekend with home wins over Charleston Southern and Winthrop. Both matches were won 3-0. Saturday was senior day for High Point as they honored Haley Barnes, Carly Jimenez, and Amy Pilot. Also on Monday, Abby Bottomley was announced as the Big South Defensive Player of the Week. It's the 4th time she's held that title this year. Up next for HPU, they play their last regular season match on Saturday on the road against Radford. The men's and women's basketball teams host their home openers on Friday in the Millis Center. The women host North Carolina Wesleyan at 5 o'clock, and the men will host the Tribe of William & Mary at 8 o'clock. After beating Campbell in the semifinals, the HPU women's soccer team advanced to the Big South Championship game on Sunday. The Panthers beat the Longwood Lancers in the championship game thanks to a Meredith Dunker goal in the 38th minute. With the 1-0 win, senior goalkeeper Alex Hank tied her shutout career high at 8. Hank was named tournament MVP. Next up for the Panthers is the NCAA tournament as they will travel to Cary, North Carolina to take on the UNC Tar Heels on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Come out to Cary and support your Panthers. High Point's men's soccer team beat Liberty last night in the Big South semifinals 3-1. Jonathan Bolano scored the first goal of the game, making it 1-0 High Point. Then Liberty's Kevin Mendoza would answer to make it 1-1. 4 minutes later, after the Mendoza goal, Connor Caesar would score to put the Panthers in front 2-1. 3 minutes later, in the 38th minute, Connor Caesar would score another goal to make it 3-1. The win advances the Panthers to the Big South Championship game. The #1 seed HPU Panthers will host a championship game right here in Vert Stadium at 2 o'clock on Sunday. The Panthers will be playing the #6 Presbyterian College Blue Hose, so come out and support the Panthers as they look to win their first ever Big South Championship. That's all I got for you this week, guys, on the purple and white. I'll try to do better next week. And as always, go Panthers. Back to the sensational Sydney's back at the desk.
Thank you, Kevin. It's good to hear some success all across the board for the Panthers, so I hope we keep it going.
And when we come back from the break, hear what a 5-year-old girl did before undergoing open heart surgery.
And a new vulgar change is coming to Canadian radio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to HPU News. I'm Sydney Chevron.
And I'm Sydney Goldberg.
Canadian radio is about to get a lot more colorful after authorities ruled that the F word will now be allowed on French language broadcast. The argument states that the F word, which we still can't say, was too much, quote, part of the common French spoken language. It was also reported that the word does not hold the same vulgar connotations that it has in the English language.
And now school principal Steve Versalino vowed spending a night on the roof of Forest Elementary School, provided that students raise the necessary $20,000 funds for the school. He stated so many people think schools are just a business of just teaching, but it's a lot more than just that. Versalino believes that it is about building relationships and believing in these children.
Well, that'll definitely keep the kids entertained.
Exactly.
But right now, to keep you all entertained, is our very own Livy Beaner with your entertainment update. Livy?
Thanks, guys. Well, now that I am officially comfortably back in my rightful throne, here's your entertainment source. Well, guys, the box office is not looking so hot right now. With Thor Ragnarok in first, it only grossed $141 million in the first week, each day tanking sales almost 70%. A Bad Moms Christmas also received poor reviews, and Jigsaw hasn't even cracked 30 million gross. However, there is hope. Scoring a whopping 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, Thelma opens in theaters everywhere. This movie follows a college student who experiences some seizures while studying, only to discover that she has some sort of supernatural powers. One critic actually described this movie as an emo Carrie, and if this is true, this might be a potential cannot miss. Now, looking eerily similar to the cover of the Polar Express, Murder on the Orient Express also opens Friday. This is a film adaptation of the Agatha Christie novel that follows 13 passengers as they struggle to solve a mystery puzzle before another person is murdered. So definitely not the Polar Express. But I have no idea why all the thrillers are coming out 2 weeks after Halloween. Hollywood seems to be holding on to it as long as it can, so I guess that I am not complaining. Now in the music world, pop culture icon Maroon 5 has released new music. Red Pill Blues dropped this past weekend. This is their first full-length album since 2015, and it features everyone from Julia Michaels to A$AP to Future. What Lovers Do has been playing on the radio for a couple of weeks, and I'm sure we'll be hearing and seeing the rest of the album on the radio and on the charts soon. The legendary rock band U2 is gearing up for another album. With new singles being sprinkled around Spotify and Apple Music, the band has been teasing us with Songs of Experience for a few weeks now. This is a follow-up album to the 2014 Songs of Innocence. Like, remember when music just started appearing on your phone? Yeah, that was U2. Only Bono would have the audacity to do so. The full album is due out on December 1st. Will we wake up with it already downloaded? I guess we'll see, but I definitely would not be one to complain. Now, I hear that T-Pain is about to make a comeback. Oblivion is set to be released next week. This is the R&B artist's first album in more than 6 years. Now, this man was the soundtrack to my middle school dances, and I sure hope he's about to be my college soundtrack as well. No singles have been released except for a collab with Black Youngsta called Goal Line, which came out in early September. Okay, so because my anchor Sydney has told me to speak about this, Taylor Swift's new album, Reputation, comes out at midnight. So if you're like Sydney, you're gonna be up waiting for it to come out. So definitely check that out as she comes out with her whole new sound and everything that she's been talking about. All right, now that's almost all. However, excuse me, Scott, but my bias is about to show. PSA, Sam Smith's new album is absolute perfection, and you should all take time out of your day to listen to it over and over and over again. All right, that's all. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Livy. With Christmas closing, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of theaters to keep us occupied.
Definitely, and thanks for the shout out, Livy. And now to all of those with a sweet tooth, you may want to listen to this story. The popular spread and treat Nutella has a new recipe, and fans are not exactly happy.
The new recipe includes more powdered skim milk and higher sugar content confirmed by its maker, Ferrero. While the increase are only by a few percentage points, consumers say it looks, tastes different. There is no word yet why they changed the recipe.
And finally tonight, many of us fear commitment, but for one little girl, it's all that she wants.
5-year-old Sophia Schiapoloni is about to face her third open heart surgery for her heart defect. But before undergoing the knife, she had one wish: marry her best friend.
Her groom, Hunter LaFerriere, said anything to make Sophia happy. The couple's mock wedding shoot went viral, with many sending hope that Sophia will get to actually marry her best friend one day.
Now, if we could look at all the cute wedding photos all night, we would, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have for HPU News. Join us next week with more, same time, same place, but until then, I'm Sydney Goldberg.
And I'm Sydney Chevron. Have a good night, High Point.